Anyway, but the Home Secretary has now called for a full and urgent explanation after that police car rammed into the cow. Show you the video. Just to warn you, though, it does contain some pictures of the injured animal. It's not pleasant.
You see, the vehicle hit the cow. It was in Feltham. And there, we've just reduced it to a still, but it is video. And you can see
and then
it's
went
a
in
calf,
again.
actually, yeah. And it's struggling on the ground. And, yes, it looks there as though the police car's going to run over it. It doesn't. It deliberately doesn't. But the police clearly felt that it was the only way to keep the calf down.
But as you say, it is only a calf, and anyone who knows anything about this, it's not... There's no danger from a calf like that. They're not big enough. Anyway, let's talk to former Scotland Yard detective Peter Bleksley, who joins us now. With all the worries, Peter, and all the stuff police officers have to deal with, some of it incredibly serious, I just find it very, very hard to understand what was going through anyone's mind doing that. I mean, what do you make of it all?
Well, the optics are clearly dreadful. If anybody sees that video in full, it really is shocking, and everybody I've spoken to was really appalled by it. However, what I think we need to bear in mind here is that the officer that was driving that vehicle, because this cow had been on the run, so to speak, for a considerable amount of time, the police had been considering a number of tactics that they could use. So the officer here that engages with this cow, it's called a tactical engagement or tactical contact, will be being instructed by a more senior officer in a control room. So it may well be that officer that has a lot of questions to answer, because, of course, I would like to know, and I'm sure many people would like to know, what other experts did they consult during the time that this animal was a danger? Did they contact vets, farmers, the RSPCA, for example?
Yeah, I mean, we do have incidents, don't we, where, a stray animal like that on a motorway will shut down the entire motorway for a while. They wouldn't ram it.
And it can cause huge danger.
Yeah.
Many viewers and listeners will be familiar with those signs that we drive past when they warn of deer, for example, in rural areas and other animals, and they can cause damage to vehicles and injury to people. So I understand that the police had very much a live, in-the-moment kind of situation, but did they consult with others? Was there alternative methods they could have used rather than this ghastly-looking tactic?
What do you make of the Home Secretary? I mean, I have to say, I know it's election time, but it does seem to me, as this quite rightly needs to be looked at, and is being, it seems a bit extraordinary to me that the Home Secretary has jumped on board.
Well, we've got an election coming up and votes are at stake. So I think he's jumped on this as an act of pure populism to try and drag the Tories out of the dreadful mire that the opinion polls tell us that they're in.
Okay. Yeah, I suppose if you're a politician, you've got to react. You're asked the question, what do you think of what happened to that cow? And he said, well, I need to look into it. It looks bad.
Yeah, well, it does look bad. Peter, good to see you. Thanks very much indeed.